I know people that are like have got children, you know, they're on benefits and they're getting more money than certain men are getting from job. So I'm saying that. So how do we look at that then? Right.
Well, if they got more responsibilities.
No, what I'm saying is compared to someone that's doing a 9 to 5, like.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, if I'm doing a 9 to 5 and I got one child and someone's not working and they got 4 kids, then if they're getting more money from the social, then that's, to me, is what it is. Yeah, the only problem I would, this is the thing, this is where honesty and integrity, or whatever you want to call it, morals, values, comes into it. Because for that same reason is why people would then have children.
Right.
So you got women that were having children so they could get a flat, they could get a place to stay, an apartment.
Yeah, that's peak.
So this is where I think it goes a bit left.
Right.
You know, so where, if luckily you're blessed and you get pregnant, and then because that reason now you need a flat, fair enough, or an apartment, fair enough, but don't get pregnant because you need. Because you want, you see. So again, this is, unfortunately, this is the problem.
Yeah, that's the capitalist society that we live in, because they're gonna, if they can capitalize off of it, you know. And while somebody like myself who was working and I got a penny pinch the amount of food that I can afford, as opposed to seeing a woman with 2 shopping carts full to the brim of food and junk food and stuff because she's getting supplements. You know, it used to, you know, grind my gears, as they say. But, and I know that some of these women do, you know, they use the system. You know, they will go on Section 8 and they got the government paying for their, you know, for their homes and housing and stuff, or they'll go into a shelter so they can get a nice apartment, and they'll lie and say, you know, I've been beat, I've been this, and, you know, so they can, you know, get assistance right away. And I'm just like, wow, you know, like, I could never, and sacrifice myself and go into these shelters just so I can have a nice apartment. Nah.
You know what? Again, yeah, that's it. Because when they're sat in their nice apartment, having gone through all of that, you know what I mean? Right. They're in the moment, and it's, you know, does anything prior to that really matter? Because how they got there really matter? If they haven't harmed anyone?
No, they haven't harmed anyone, but then but I don't know, because it's like you like somebody just said, I think correct, 9 to 5. You're doing all this, you're busting your behind every day, 9 to 5. But then you got somebody who's got assistance that most of these people don't. There's nothing wrong with them, and so that's why I have a problem. Because I'm looking at these women, and they're, you know, not for nothing, but some of them are fat, and they got all this junk food in their shopping cart, and I have to watch what I get because I can't afford some of that stuff. And yeah. But
bear in mind what, as you said,
not hurting anybody. No, she's not hurting anybody, but
not even that. But what I'm saying is, bear in mind that your description of her, which was she's fat, and you wouldn't want to be fat, so that's one good thing. She's got loads of junk food in her trolley, so again, that's one thing you wouldn't want. So. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Again, peace. I'm at peace with it, because ultimately they're doing what they're doing, and there's consequences to it, unfortunately, and that might fall on their children. It may not fall on them.
Right.
It may fall on their children or their children's children. You know. So I think what's the good thing about it is that we can then use that as an example to show ours.
Exactly.
So,
and you know what? My youngest is 15, and she's like, Mom, so how do I get involved in stocks? Like to invest, you know? So I was thinking about work, but I wasn't thinking about that at her age.
Yeah, no, that's the future right now.
Yeah, and you know, it's a great thing. And if we can learn a little bit, you know, I just turned 46, so I'm not completely financially literate. but a little bit enough to kind of get by and work this, work if I can work that system, and look at what's, where to put my money in and where to not put it in and stuff. That's what we need to be doing for our children. Not saying, oh, I'm on welfare and I'm on the government, and there's mothers. It's generational. Their mother had that apartment. The girl has the apartment now. Her daughter's gonna have the apartment, and she's got her grandkid running around in that house, and that's nothing for them. That's no thing.
Does it matter if they're happy?
I guess maybe for them, if they're happy, I'm not looking at to see if they're happy or not. I'm just saying, what are you teaching your children? Is that all that you're giving them? Like, just to be generational on that? Is that all you want in life?
But if they're
if they're happy, then fine.
So the only problem is if they're unhappy.
Yeah, because they have a choice.
No, I get that. So what I'm just trying to break it down, so what we're saying here is that with that generational benefit family thing,
right,
the only actual problem with it is if they're unhappy. If they're happy, fair play.
Right.
Is that what we're saying?
It would look like that, but I have news for you. I've been in those government offices, and those women complain all the time.
I've been in work and people complain. I've been in 9 to 5 and people complain all the time.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I don't even think it's about happiness. Yeah.
It's a state of mind.
Right. That's what it boils down to.
One thing I will say, if someone's on benefits, and this can go both ways though, because there's people that do 9 to 5 that stay at the same position in 20 years. There are people like that, mostly in retail, stay on the same money sort of for a long time. But the only problem is in those sort of situations when the family is like that, if it does become a thing of a traditional type thing, that's very spooky. Secondly, you're always going to be on that type of money. There's never really no growth to what you're actually making. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What makes growth? Money?
Oh, most definitely. If you're money and business minded.
No, right. I'm saying is that how we're measuring growth? By the amount of money you earn? Well,
what I will say is this: you have some people, bro, that get certain money but don't know what to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Obviously we can't tell these people what to do with their money anyway. You know what I'm saying? But if it was a situation where they was getting benefits to make another side business opportunity, that's a different situation.
No, what I'm saying is that whether someone's making £50 a week or £50 a day, does that determine whether they're growing or not?
It depends on what they're putting in to grow. You can't just grow. You have to put something in. For example, if you're on, level 1 electrical installation, or level 2, you might have that. But then you might be a certain amount of money, but then you might want to just drop all that and just be a surveyor, and they get even more money. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's growth. You have to learn these courses, do these courses, and pass these tests for growth. So I was basically saying the only thing about the benefit situation is, even though they do get a certain amount of money, they get a lot of money depending on how many kids. You're always going to be on that same type of money.
Exactly.
If you're relying on that money, on that level.
There's no growth there. So you might be happy or you might be content and comfortable, but that's it. There's nothing else.
Making enough money from the government where you can say to yourself, all right, can I put a mortgage down for this money? That's the questions you have to start asking yourself, you know what I'm saying? But you know what it is though? Most of the people, not them people, because they're the same people as us, that are on these benefits and getting this type of money, then they don't really think about things like the ones that I've been around. Don't really think about moving homes and buying houses. They're more, they get into that stage of relying on the government a lot, so they rely on the council and things like that, you know. And they do get benefits out of it. The amount of different kids you can get, upgrade your rooms, and if you got a kid that's they say you can get you can get a car and stuff like that. You can get a car. You can get a car from the people now, even if the child's just got minor problems now. So it's actually it actually makes you think, innit? Is it structured that way to drag people into it? And if it is a thing, where it's an agenda, because when I was younger, they weren't getting money like that. When I was younger, my mum wasn't getting money for us, what they're getting now. Do you understand? Trust me. Yeah? So is it a thing of where maybe it could even be? And I see your point as well, Mystery, about being happy and whatnot. That's really, I don't really think that's the reason. I think it's more security. But is it a thing of where this could be an agenda then to keep people on a certain level? By giving them exactly what they need, but not too much.
Right.
Yeah.
There was I want to say it's called a universal, kind of like what they did with a stimulus. Did you guys get that stimulus money, or was that just in the States?
Just in America.
It's funny.
Okay. So back in the, oh my goodness, maybe somewhere either between the 20s and the 50s, in Oklahoma. So in the States, they did this kind of study to see if they put, at the time it was more white people, and the white people moved out, they had the black people move in, but they gave them just a certain amount of money, a stipend, and they put, they built houses for them and everything, and in the first year, they thrived because it was controlled. They were doing a study. After that, when the black people weren't getting any more money, they started, and the resources started to dry up. They started messing up, their homes where they lived, the projects, and I think it was in Oklahoma. So they stopped doing the case study. They stopped, the government stopped testing the people, but they showed that, if we give them a certain amount of money, we give them some time, yes, that'll work and it'll be fine. But when we start slowing up the money and the resources, they turn on each other. So yeah, I think that they do some of these things intentionally, so to keep us, it's a form of control.
Right.
And who doesn't want to feel, I'm getting a check every month. It's guaranteed to me every month. There's no, if I didn't make a couple of hours, I'm not getting docked. Like, they know they're going to get this set amount every month. Some people are comfortable with that.
Because there's some people right now as well that have families and have kids, and they feel like it's not worth them going to work.
I was going to say yes, because it's not just the financial side of it; it's also the life work balance. There's people that, because the people that are on benefit, they get to take their kid to school, pick their kid up. They get a lot more time with the things that money can't buy.
Right.
Because if we're going to work for 8 hours and then we're sleeping 8 hours, that's 16 hours out of our day.
Exactly.
The traveling is going to take up another 8 hour of the day. So, and then we do that 5 days a week. We only get a break at the weekend when we're at our weakest, because we've done all our best at work.
Right.
It's, you know what I mean?
So what time do you have for yourself? Not much.
So who's the real slave? People doing us doing the 9 to 5, or the people that are on benefits?
Right.
That's what I was trying to say earlier on, but I didn't want to say it like that.
Not to mention we're working to pay them people on benefits.
Right. You got to get up in the morning as well when someone tells you to.
Right.
You got to travel around people coughing and stuff in the morning.
Right. Putting yourself at risk.
Putting yourself at risk. then you're paying for food and stuff when you go to the company. You still got to go to lunch and spend your own money on lunch.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, sometimes in certain companies you got to wear very uniform instead of wearing jogging bottoms and stuff like that.
Right, with name badges on and stuff.
That's a good thing. So that's a good thing is you don't have to pay for clothes now. So that's one expense.
Yeah, but sometimes them clothes might not be that comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to wear someone else's clothes regardless if it's comfortable or not. Or you look like
you have to wear what you're told.
Or if you look like a complete goofy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are and then at the end of work you got to travel back with the whole crowd again.
Right.
And then on top of that, another serious thing is when you're working 9 to 5. Not necessarily if you got your own business, but when you're working a 9 to 5 for someone's company, you're paying rent on your home, and you're only seeing your home for a few hours of the day.
Right.
It's crazy.
Paying so much for it. And even when you have your own business, the business has you more than you have your own business.
Depending on what level you're at. Because if you get to the level where you got people working for you, then it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Because then there wouldn't be no point in people working for you, you know?
Yeah. Ultimately, yes.
So it's kind of crazy, man. Like you only see your house for a few hours of the day.
Right.
Crazy.
So you're paying just to have this roof over your head, but it's empty most of the day.
And once again, it's our egos what makes us decide, especially if you're at that level when you're buying houses. It's your ego what makes you decide what kind of house you want to buy.
Definitely.
Because half the space in the houses that people buy is not needed.
Nope.
No.
You know, so
that's for ego. That's for show. You want to have 4 bedrooms, and okay, if you got a lot of children and family, yes. But if you're just doing that and this you and your partner, you got all the points. Really?
Yeah. So So to me, again, things really boil down to a state of mind and having that mental strength. Because I'm not saying I wouldn't want to be in a position where I'm paying mortgage and so forth, but the main thing is that I have the mental strength to deal with whatever comes my way.
Right.
I don't want to get depressed. As people that are paying mortgages they're worrying about October, and I don't want to be in that zone. I want to be able to say, you know what? Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'll find a way through. Me and the Most High, me and my people around me, you know what I mean? We'll be able to find our way through whatever the system wants to throw at us. Because as we were saying, it's designed to keep us controlled by giving us little bites, like the carrot at the end of the stick.
Exactly.